Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of Cam Center. I'm your host, Cameron Brown, and I'm here with my other partners. Caleb, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Cameron. And much like LeBron, I'm in a very interesting situation. How are you, Cameron?
I'm doing well, man. That's good to know that you're doing well. Kyle, how are you doing?
I'm doing swell, and like LeBron, a couple months ago, I fucking left Florida.
Well, that's an interesting situation. You and Caleb are. While we're speaking of LeBron James, let's jump into LeBron James talk. Caleb, where do you think the landing spots for LeBron James are? Give me three of them.
Of course, I think that him staying with the Heat is always an option. I think it's a very interesting option. Him going to the Lakers out of all the teams looking at him, I don't think he'll end up with the Lakers. I don't think he'll go to LA. But then there is Cleveland, there's the Cavaliers, and I think LeBron's going to end up with the Cavs again. I think it's going to be hilarious to see all the people that bitched about it, and back whenever he left originally, I want to see how they react, because I think it'll be funny.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting situation if he does go back to Cleveland, which I do think he's going back to Cleveland. I'm going to go ahead and give my three choices. I say Cleveland as well. I say Miami as well. And I see him possibly going to the Lakers. So me and you have the same three. The only situation with the Lakers is I don't really think they would have enough money to get him and help. Because if he goes there with Kobe and Paul Gasol, that's about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Kyle, what are your three choices?
Well, honestly, I don't think he's gonna go back to the Cavaliers because he left them and won 2 championships. I don't think he's gonna back trail on his stats.
Well, now see, his situation in Cleveland now, and going back then, is completely different. I mean, Cleveland has more help than they ever did in the previous years with Andrew Wiggins and Kyrie Irving. So, I mean, it's possible. I mean, they would still have to get more help if they did snag LeBron again, but you never know. Give me your other two options.
The other one is I do believe he's staying. I think out of all the free agents out there for NBA right now, he's the only one that has the best chance of staying where he's at with the Heat. If he doesn't
really, that's interesting.
If he doesn't go, he's staying with the Heat. But if he does go, I honestly see him going wherever Carmelo goes. Which, in my opinion, might be the Lakers.
Yes, that's possible.
My opinion is the Lakers, but with the Lakers, not to cut you off, is I would personally see the Lakers because they could have Carmelo, Kobe, and LeBron. But in the same breath, I could see that Carmelo and LeBron going somewhere else with the same spot. So my third pick is kind of like a wild card. It's them together somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, them going together somewhere is highly possible. I mean, for all we know, LeBron can re-sign with the Heat, and Carmelo could come with him. But the only problem with him going to the Lakers is giving Kobe a max contract and trying to snag Paul Gasol, LeBron James, and Carmelo Anthony. That's kind of a stretch. So that's my only problem with both of them going to the Lakers at the same time.
It's a stretch, but financially, it's worth the gamble.
Yeah, it is if they can find the room for it. They will definitely have to give away some players, but it's a stretch, but it's worth it.
But I mean, if you're sitting there as the coach or as the management for the Lakers, you have your option. I can cut 3 lower people to get these 2 big names. Would you do it?
Honestly, this is just me. No, because a team is more than just 2 people. I would rather have LeBron and a good surrounding cast than Carmelo and LeBron, and you're not sure about Kobe's legs, so it's just those 2 and no supporting cast.
Exactly. The last thing we need is to see just 2 guys trying to leave the Lakers, because that doesn't fix anything for them.
No, it doesn't. And they would basically be in the same situation they were last year with Steve Nash and Paul Gasol trying to leave the Lakers while Kobe was injured. It just wouldn't work.
But I could definitely see either, and we'll probably get into this later with Carmelo, I either see either him or LeBron going to the Lakers. Because the Lakers, they need someone else just in case Kobe gets hurt again.
That's very true. That's very true. And speaking of Carmelo, Caleb, why don't you give me your 3 landing spots for Carmelo?
Well, Carmelo, of course, like I said, the Lakers are a big option for him as well. But I mean, I don't know. I don't really see it. And then I've also got the Rockets and the Bulls. But if you ask me, I think that Carmelo Anthony is going to end up in Houston with the Rockets. That's just my weird prediction. I think that him and the Beard are going to team up, and they're just going to work together in Houston. And it's going to be him and the Rockets.
You just want to see James Harden have success because he played for the Thunder.
I love James Harden, and it's the Thunder fan in me. I'm just such a big fan of James Harden. So yeah, it would be nice to see a little bit. Now, the Houston's good, but like I want to see a little bit more from them because I do support James Harden so much.
Yeah. Well, my 3 picks are Chicago, although I'm not necessarily sure how him, Joakim Noah, and Derrick Rose would work out. I mean, I think if he went to the Bulls, he would have the same situation he was in New York, where it's him and another big guy. And in New York, that big guy was Amari Stoudemire and Tyson Chandler, or whatever his name was. My other pick is the Dallas Mavericks. I really like him in Dallas. Him and Dirk would make a really good combo.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be. And my other pick is LA. I would love to see him in that Laker purple and gold. That he would probably actually make me like the Lakers a lot more. So, Kyle, what about you?
Well, unlike LeBron, I don't see Carmelo staying. I think he needs to go fish around where else he can go and find more success. I either see him going to the Bulls or the Lakers. Then my third option, like I said with LeBron, the wild card team, somewhere with LeBron.
Yeah, with those two, that's a really unstoppable team. I mean, LeBron is one of the greatest scorers in NBA history, and Carmelo is one of the greatest scorers in NBA history. I honestly don't know who could stop those two together. I don't see it. It would be a lot. You can go.
And from a management point of view, when are you going to be able to see these two big names as free agents at the same time again?
Well, I mean, people said the same thing a few years ago when Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron were free agents. I mean, hey, those guys, if they get a new contract, they can put it to where they can opt out in 2 years, so they can go to Miami if they wanted to, or any other team that's offering more money.
Chris Bosh could opt out every million of years.
But the thing is, like, if you're a team and you see these two big names come across your desk that you get them, you're gonna pounce on it and try and get both of them.
Yeah, but see, that's true. But for a lot of teams, you're going to have to give up a lot of players to even find enough money to get those two players. So that's the only problem that occurs with that is you're going to give up a lot for a little, basically.
Yeah, but you never know. But I think the biggest chance they're going to end up together. That's my going. I don't know where they're going to go exactly. My opinion is they're either Carmelo's going to the Heat or they're both going to the Lakers. But they could go somewhere else. But my biggest vote is somewhere together.
Well, hey, you never know. Both of them could land together. They can go to separate places. If they do go somewhere together, on the episode of Cam Center, I'm going to give you a cookie. How about that?
I like cookies.
Also, one thing I would like to say is I am a big Knicks fan, so Carmelo leaving does make me sad.
You know, you and Stephen A. Smith and Ty 1822 are the only Knicks fans I know.
See, I was totally... if we weren't recording something right now, there is a Stephen A. Smith joke I could make right now, but, hey, I can't make it.
Well, you can tell me it after this show is over.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about.
But before we close it, I'm going to... Even though we just had picked 3 teams, like I said, LeBron and Carmelo are going to the same place. I think they're going to stay at the Heat. I think Carmelo's going to the Heat, LeBron's staying. That's my final prediction.
Well, see, that's a high possibility, but I don't think they would go somewhere because you don't know exactly where Dwayne Wade's health is. Because he starts out every season for the past couple of years, the first half doing good, and then at the latter half, he's tired and injured. So that's the only risk you're taking going back to Miami.
And one thing also, another... I completely forgot what I was going to say, so you guys go ahead.
Kyle, were you saying something?
another thing to think about is I think it was today I don't know when you're listening to this video, but I think today or yesterday from when we're doing this, news broke about Chris Bosh possibly leaving the Heat. I think that might open a seat for Carmelo.
Okay, now here's the situation with Chris Bosh. The only way he's leaving Miami is if LeBron goes. That's the only way he's leaving Miami.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you never know.
You don't know, but I mean, hey, I guess we'll just have to see where all the pieces fall at the end of the day. How about that?
Yeah, but my final prediction is they're going to end up somewhere together. That's where I'm putting all my money on.
All right, hey, who knows? Maybe they might end up together. Maybe they might not. Caleb, do you have any final words?
My final words are I think LeBron staying is definitely an option, but I think no matter what, Carmelo's got to leave the Knicks.
Yeah, me and you have about the same prediction. And drawing that to a close, I'm going to bring up the ESPYs, the ESPN Awards. They happen yearly, and with it coming up this year, I thought we can go over and see who should win each category. Is that okay with you guys?
Guys, hey, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, for best male athlete, you have Miguel Cabrera, Peyton Manning, Kevin Durant, and Floyd Mayweather. Who do you think should win that?
Kevin Durant is Mr. MVP.
Oh, okay. Not going to comment on that.
Floyd Mayweather as well. I would say Floyd or Kevin.
Yeah, same.
I'm going to go with...
What about you, Kyle?
I'm going to go with that money.
And going to best NBA player, we have Blake Griffin, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Joakim Noah.
Kevin Durant or LeBron?
I'm going with LeBron.
I'm going with LeBron, too. Now, here's one that me and Caleb might have an argument over.
Oh, we will. Bring it. I know what this is. Bring it.
Best fighter, we have the boxer Andre Ward. We have the boxer Floyd Mayweather. We have the MMA fighter Ronda Rousey. We have boxer Manny Pacquiao. And we have MMA fighter John Jones.
There is no contest on who should win best fighter this year. It is easily the biggest UFC fighter right now, and that is Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey. Amazing. She's my girl. Yes, Ronda Rousey.
She isn't the biggest MMA fighter right now. She's not. I'm sorry to tell you that.
She is one of the biggest MMA fighters.
If you give me 5, she's going to beat number 5. She isn't even top 2, top 3.
No, she's top 3.
No.
It's her, John Jones, and Silva right now.
No. I'm going to go put my money on Floyd Money Mayweather. He's one of my favorite boxers, and if you want to talk about an undefeated streak, what is he at? 36, 37, and let me know when Ronda Rousey gets to that point, okay?
Oh, I will. I'm sure in a few years we'll have that.
We probably won't. Kyle, who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to go with Silver. He can go break a leg.
Okay then. He isn't one of the nominees, but I'm going to let you go.
You're just kidding. You basically chose the write in your own tab. Basically, like, I pick Anderson Silva. How about you just pick Anderson Silva's leg? I mean, that's a fighter right there.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with his leg. I can't pick the whole thing because the leg's not currently attached to everything else.
Okay, since we're writing our own answers, can I say Brock Lesnar?
Go ahead. And since we're doing our own fighters, I'm going to pick every MMA fighter's cauliflower ear. How about that?
How about Bruno Sammartino's cauliflower ears?
So we have a broken leg picked, a cauliflower ear, and we have Brock Lesnar.
It's not a broken leg, it's a dislocated leg. It's sideways.
Dislocated leg, broken leg. It still looked horrible.
That's a destroyed leg.
Yes, it's a destroyed.
I don't know what the medical term for what happens to that leg is. We'll find out, then we'll call it that.
It's basically Bane breaking Batman's back, but with a leg.
That's true. That's the best thing you can say right there. That's true.
Yeah, that's my
we broke your body.
Now going on to the NFL, we have Peyton Manning, Jamal Charles, Luke Kaliki, Russell Wilson, and LaShawn McCoy. Caleb, who do you think is going to win that?
Russell Wilson. Peyton Manning shouldn't even. Look. I mean, yes, he should be nominated because of that Super Bowl, but man, he was not good in that Super Bowl.
Okay, here's the thing with that Super Bowl. He got psyched out. That's what his problem was. He over prepared for it because we all know Peyton Manning and those Mannings, Eli, Archie, they go over everything to a T. They cross their eyes and dot whatever you say. He overcompensated for it.
I agree. But like, I have nothing. I don't mean to cut you off. It's just, I have nothing but respect for Peyton Manning. I'm just saying that after that game, it's like if he wins this, I will call bullshit.
He did break the touchdown throwing record that was previously held by Tom Brady.
Yeah, yes, and if someone was going to break one of my favorites, if not my favorite of all times, record, then if it's Peyton Manning, I think that's pretty good. So I will agree with that. That does add on to why Peyton Manning should be a nominee, but him winning, I don't know.
Before people talk about Russell Wilson as a quarterback, I want to see how he does this year because these past few years, that defense has showed up and covered a lot of mistakes that offense makes.
Right.
I mean, their offense really isn't that good besides Marshawn Lynch and Russell Wilson. So, hey, it's kind of like that situation in 2000 with the Ravens. I mean, the defense basically covered up a lot of the mistakes that Trent Dilfer made as a quarterback. So, Kyle, who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to go with Manning simply because he came back from an injury and went to the Super Bowl. And I'm not going to hold the lost Super Bowl against him because he has a thing for choking at the Super Bowl like he did with the Colts a couple years ago.
That's true. Well, we just outplayed him. The Saints, I'm a Saints fan. Who dat? The Saints just outplayed him.
The Broncos and Brazil have a lot in common this year.
I'm not going to count that Super Bowl loss against him because he had an amazing season for someone who just came back from an injury. So, I mean,
that's true, and that's probably the reason he's going to win it because he did have like 4 neck surgeries in a year.
Now everything is adding on that Peyton Manning probably will win this.
Yeah, he's probably going to win. Even though, I mean,
I will admit that Super Bowl game was ugly, but he does have a record of choking at the Super Bowl, so I'm not going to hold it against him. Speaking of neck injury, actually. Speaking of neck injury.
Against the Saints just outplayed him.
No, they
that wasn't a choke, and he beat the Bears in the Super Bowl, so he already has a ring.
Hey, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying he has a track record of choking and neck injuries, which is probably why he has neck injuries because he chokes so much.
Maybe he had a fight with Brock Lesnar or something. Who knows?
Or maybe him and Silva got into it. One broke a leg, one broke the neck.
Maybe. My pick, who I think should win, is Luke Kaliki, but I think as we all have come to a unanimous decision, Peyton Manning is going to win it.
Yeah, Peyton Manning's going to win that. Just like Ronda Rousey is going to win Best Fighter.
Oh, whatever you say.
Oh yeah, I'm saying it.
No. Silva's leg's going to win that. I'm betting.
Oh yeah.
betting all my money on it. The winner of the SB, is going to be Silva's leg. Hashtag Silva's leg is winning.
Now on to the last category. Well, it's not the last one, but it's the last one that I wrote down because the other ones aren't as important. Best NHL player. Now, this is probably the only one that I know is funny, a black guy who knows hockey. But out of all...
Is Sidney Crosby a nominee?
Yes, Sidney Crosby is a nominee. As much as you want to hate him, he is a very talented player.
Oh, yeah, he is pretty talented.
So, going to the nominees, we have Sidney Crosby, Andrei Kopitar, Ryan Getzlaf, Jonathan Taves, and Henrik Lundqvist. Caleb?
Who do you think? It was Henrik.
Henrik, yeah. Same. I do think he should win, but we all know ESPN likes giving the popular vote the trophy, so Sidney Crosby is probably going to win.
Yeah.
I don't really know hockey, so do you want to just pick a random name?
I want to pick a random name out of a hat, and I'm going to go with Hendricks, because I get called that a lot, so I'm going with Hendricks. I don't know who he is. I know nothing about him. I'm picking him.
Let's just nominate Christina Hendricks to win everything because of how hot she is.
Sure. Yes, let's do that.
Yep.
I don't care if it's the ESPYs.
She should win everything. Best team, best male athlete, best female athlete, best everything. How about that?
Best hair.
If you're listening to this, nominate her.
Nominate Christina Hendricks for everything.
And Silva's leg for everything.
Exactly. Yes. You could put Silva's leg on Christina Hendricks' body and nominate it for everything.
Now, that's the end of the ESPYs talk, sadly. But I want to go on to another category, and it does involve hockey. Wayne Gretzky wants a NHL team in Seattle. Caleb, what do you think about that?
I mean, he's Wayne Gretzky, so that's cool. Cool for Wayne Gretzky. I mean, Seattle has done pretty interesting stuff with, the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. I'm all for it. I guess, obviously, they'd have to move a team, but I guess which team they would move would be the question. But I'm all for them putting an NHL team in Seattle. I think Seattle would be a good hockey city.
Now, here's something funny. Our friendo, Jamie, they're talking about the Maple Leafs could possibly be moved to Seattle.
That is serious talk.
That's serious. I'm not bullshitting you. They're talking about the Maple Leafs could be moved to Seattle.
That's the Seattle Maple Leafs.
Maybe that has a little ring to it.
They would have. I mean, okay, I think they could keep that for like the first year, but then they would have to change that name.
Yeah, seeing how the Maple Leaf name is kind of play off the Canadian flag.
So, Kyle, what are your thoughts on them moving a team to Seattle?
Good for them. I don't know. I don't care. He's no different to my daily life. Good for them. I'm happy for him, I guess.
Caleb, I know it saddens you because it's one of your favorite teams, but the Winnipeg Jets could possibly be moved to Seattle.
No.
I mean, hey.
No, I don't care how much they suck. I love the Jets. I don't want them to leave Winnipeg.
They're from
Winnipeg, you idiot.
Damn it, I was making the same reference.
Winnipeg has a history of having their teams moved. They were the Atlanta Thrashers, which is a weird name, Thrashers. But, I mean, they've been moved time and time again and moved back to Winnipeg and then moved from Winnipeg. So, hey, maybe they're just going to follow the trend.
Hey, if they keep calling themselves the Seattle Jets, that's fine with me. Just call them that, and we'll be good. Like, I want to be a fan. Here's the thing: is I'll be a fan of them until they completely demolish what the team's name. If they move into a different city and they change the name, then I might have to just find other teams.
Well, the Phoenix Coyotes might be moved there. So, hey, maybe you won't be able to see that hockey game after all.
Oh shit, that would suck.
It would.
That needs to not happen because that's like my way of seeing hockey. So I don't have to drive to other states.
You could travel to Texas. I mean,
yeah, that's it. That's the whole point. Is I might have to Texas, I guess.
I mean, that's where I'm going to see a hockey game. Well, speaking of team moving and relocation, what do you guys think about the NFL trying to get a team in Los Angeles?
Oh, they're trying to do that again?
Yeah, they're trying to get it again.
Get the Raiders, I'm sorry, not the Raiders, the Rams. Just move the Rams out of shitty St. Louis and put them back in LA.
Are you saying that out of spite because of someone we may or may not know?
No, I'm just saying the Rams are from LA. Move them back there. St. Louis sucks. I hate St. Louis. I hate Missouri. It's no offense to anyone who lives in Missouri. I just so happen to hate Missouri.
I would love to see the Raiders move back to Los Angeles. I think the Raiders moving back to Los Angeles is a lot more important than the Rams getting moved back.
I think the Raiders need to move to a new town, just no matter what.
That's true because Oakland isn't the best city, and they've been trying to get a new stadium for like 30 years now, and it hasn't happened.
Yeah, exactly. The Raiders need to be in California. There's no doubt about that. They just don't have. I just think they should move out of Oakland. I just do.
Now, what do you think about the Chargers? I mean, they're a good team. They aren't in the lower tier of teams like the Raiders and St. Louis, but the Chargers could be moved to Los Angeles. What would you think about that?
I love, as you know, I am a Chargers fan.
Yes, same.
And also, for anyone listening, I'm a fan of way too many sports teams. So when I say I'm a fan of them, that means I truly am a fan of them. And if I say I like them, it's a whole different thing. But I am a fan of the Chargers, and I think they're another team that needs to stay in California. If they went to Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Chargers doesn't sound as nice as the San Diego Chargers, but either way, I still love them. That's cool. It's cool with me.
And Kyle, I want to put this in a situation to see how you feel. If they were to move the Lions to Los Angeles, how would that make you feel?
No.
How would that make you feel?
Hell to the no. No. No.
Los Angeles Lions have kind of a ring to it.
No. I don't give a shit.
And it also correlates. with the Kings, the hockey team, their mascot is a lion.
You guys
So
think that if they're in Los Angeles and let's say they somehow go to the Super Bowl or some shit, then Katy Perry can sing at halftime. You're gonna hear me roar.
The only way
was a
I'm
horrible
okay with that.
rendition.
The
And
only
please
way
don't
I'm
do that.
okay with that is if they move the Lions to the AFC.
Yeah, because if they did that, then they might actually have a chance of winning
Oh,
something.
kiss
Because
my
the NFC
ass.
is just too tough. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying it. And this goes for a lot of teams. If they were in the AFC, they could actually do a lot better because the NFC is just a little too tough.
So let me put it
That's
this
all
way,
I'm saying.
Cameron. I'm against it unless going to the AFC is an option. If that's an option, I'll think about it. I'm still not okay with it, but I'll think about it. If it's not an option, fuck you. No. No.
And now that we have all of this coming to a close, Kyle, would you like to start your NASCAR talk?
I would. And now, before we do get
Does it
started,
involve Danica Patrick?
well, we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
Well, before we get into the real talk about it, I want to do a quick segment called "By the Numbers" to let everyone know what's going on in the world of NASCAR. If you're not familiar with it, or if you do follow it, by the number, we've had 18 races, 11 different race winners, 13 pole winners, 6 drivers with multiple wins, and Cameron's favorite driver being the only one with more than 2 wins, Jimmy Johnson with 3.
Go 48. Go 48.
And then we've had 3 drivers win from the pole. Now, the team with the most wins is Mr. Brown's favorite driver's team, Hendrick Motorsports, with 6 wins, 3 by Jimmy, 2 by Junior, and 1 by Jeff Gordon. Most poles, however, is a 3-way tie, which is surprising, by Team Penske with 4, Stewart-Haas Racing, and Joe Gibbs. The most top 5s with the Hendrick Motorsports, with 21 top 5s with Jeff Gordon, and they've had the most top 5s and most top 10s, period, so I'm not even going to go down these numbers. Hendrick Motorsports is killing it.
As always, because they're the best.
Which, by killing it, actually transitions me to the next segment, by which teams are hot and which ones are not. Now, obviously, if you will just listen to what the stats gave you, the obvious team that's hot is Hendrick Motorsports. They have the first 3 people in the standings, they have 6 wins, and they're killing it. Except for Casey Kane, who's choking. And then the other team that I think, my personal favorite team, I might be a little biased, but I believe if they had as many entries as Hendrick, they would have as much stats as them as Team Penske. What do you think of that, Cameron?
Yes.
If Team Penske was more than just a 2-car stable and they didn't have Juan Pablo Montoya racing the 3rd car, they could have stats like Hendrick. Fuck Juan Pablo.
Yeah.
Now, the teams that aren't so hot, I felt bad putting RCR in the team because they are in a bit of an upswing. They've had a entry in the top 5 since Michigan, I believe. Yeah, Michigan to Daytona, so I think that's like a 3-4 race stretch. So I felt bad to put them on this, but they have drivers in that top 13, but they have no wins, and they've been in contention to win nothing. So I wouldn't consider them to be a hot team. What do you feel about that, Cameron?
No, I wouldn't really consider them to be a hot team. No.
But they're not really a cold team. So there's no hate on us.
They're kind of in the middle. They're not
a lukewarm
hot, but
team.
they aren't cold.
Yeah.
Lukewarm. Yeah.
The only reason I don't consider them and I'll get into this later with the dark horse teams, is because as much as they've been solid, they have not been in contention to win anything. Like, in any race you go back to, they've never been like a threat to win. You know? Any other entries. Which is a shame with them having the legendary number 3 back in the field, but we'll see where it goes. They're definitely an upswing. Now, the team that I did not feel bad putting on this list is a team that's been shitting the bed since last year's Roush Fenway Racing. This team, for a team that's considered a powerhouse, they have been blowing for the past 54 races. And if you don't believe me, here are their stats. And since the Gen 6 car came out, they've had 54 races. And in those 54 races, they've had 6 wins. No, hold up. They've won 5 races. Sorry, I got my notes jumbled up here. They've had 5 wins in 54 races. and they've only had 21 top 5s in 54 races with 3 drivers. Those aren't powerhouse team stats, and they're considered to be a powerhouse team. This team just does not know what the fuck's going on. And then you go into this season, like, they might have 2 wins, but that's with one driver who's probably leaving after this year, which I don't blame him. So then you look at the other 2 drivers, Biffle and Stenhouse, they're 15th and 28th in points. They're fucked. Nothing about this team is hot. How do you feel about that, Cameron?
I've never been a fan of Biffle, so honestly, I don't care what he does.
Yeah, same.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I wish they would do a little bit better, but
The only thing about me and Roush is I wish Stenhouse had better stats. I love Stenhouse. I've loved him since he was in the
same. And Caleb, speaking of Danica Patrick, Ricky Stenhouse is banging Danica Patrick.
Yeah, go him.
And he does.
I don't watch NASCAR. It's like anyone who's like, it's not anything bad. I have nothing against it. I just don't like NASCAR, so I just randomly say I like Danica Patrick. So that's the whole story of that.
And Caleb, if it helps anything, I'm pretty sure that that she takes in the rear because I'm pretty sure they're both in the back in points. Anyway, is there other teams you consider to be cold, Cameron, who just aren't what they should be?
No, not really.
Yeah, I mean, you could throw in a bunch of smaller teams, but it's not fair to pick on small teams. They are what they are.
Yeah, it's not fair to pick on them.
Like, I pick on Roush because they're a big team. They've been around since the 80s. They've won championships. They do not need to be 28th in points.
They shouldn't, and that's the shame on them. That's the shame on them.
And I think their mistake, one, with Edwards and Biffle, Edwards is leaving. And Biffle possibly leaving, it might give them the light at the end of the tunnel. They do not need to be a three-car team right now. They can't afford it. They don't have the sponsorship for it. And
they have zest.
They have zest for like 7 races.
That Zest car is beautiful. Don't make fun of Zest.
It is beautiful. I'm not making fun of it. I hope they're sponsored.
Don't make that car feel bad about itself, Kyle. You don't know what it's going through.
But I think they have a perfect opportunity to shed their skin and downsize again, because they have Trevor Bain coming up next year with Advocare sponsoring them. So I think they're in a good position to drop 2 of the drivers and start fresh. I think that's what they need to do. Unfortunately, I don't think they will. Although Edwards is leaving. Don't know where he's going, but he's leaving. And if you're listening to this and you're not a NASCAR fan, but you're wondering why we're picking Rush Fenway so much, Matt Kenseth left them a year ago and went on to win 7 races and almost win a championship. This team is not where it needs to be. At all. And I've kind of dragged out about this, so let's move on. Now, Cameron, are there any teams you consider to be dark horses who aren't hot but they're not cold?
Not off the top of my head. Not off the top of my head.
Well, I would go with Stewart-Haas Racing. Even though Tony and Kurt and Danica are not that hot, Kevin Harvick is killing it. When he finishes races, he's killing it.
Could we consider Danica Patrick lukewarm? Because she is improving.
I wouldn't consider Danica Patrick lukewarm. I would consider her smoking hot.
We're not talking about her looks because I've changed my judgment and she is smoking hot.
She is beautiful.
I'm going to put Danica in limbo. She's doing better, but seeing how she's in basically a Hendrick car, she's not doing as good as she should be. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Considering where she's driving, what she's driving, and who she's driving for, she's doing better, but she's not doing what she should be doing. Which I could say for Kurt Busch and Tony Stewart. So I'm not just picking on Danica. But Stewart-Haas Racing, when they're finishing races, especially with Kevin Harvick, they're typically winning. So, Stewart-Haas Racing...
Winning!
Especially... When I say Stewart-Haas Racing, I basically want to say Kevin Harvick. Because he's carrying the flag for this team. And then the other team...
Well, I mean...
Sorry, go ahead.
You could say You could say Kurt Busch, but he's on his back.
Yeah, Kurt Busch, he has a win, but he's also 26th in points.
Did you not get the joke?
I did not get
Kurt Busch, his car flipped over.
Oh, I get it now. I missed it. Another team that's really, I think if they can get a win, they could compete for a championship is Chip Ganassi. They've done some amazing things this season compared to what they've done in other seasons. Mostly because they finally got rid of the dead weight called Juan Pablo Montoya. Now, not so much with Jamie McMurray, but Kyle Larson's going to win a race. There's no doubt in my mind he's winning the fucking race. And once he gets a car under him that's to his level of talent, he's going to win many, 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 many championships. What do you think?
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
I don't think he'll win championships with Chip Ganassi, but he might have a shot. I'm not going to counter that.
Yeah, a shot, yeah.
Now, we've done this with teams, and I'm sorry if this is dragging on, but I don't get much time to talk about NASCAR, so I kind of overdo it a little bit. Now, hot drivers. Are there any two drivers you consider to be extremely red hot right now besides Danica Patrick?
Didn't Tony Stewart become RoboCop?
That's funny. You're paying attention. I like that, Caleb. I like that.
Yeah.
Dale Jr. and Jimmy Johnson.
Can you consider Jimmy hot, though? I mean, he's just being Jimmy.
He's always hot, therefore he's hot currently.
Out of context, it sounds like you guys are teenage girls talking about boys.
And, okay, well, you can call him hot because at the beginning of the season, Jimmy wasn't doing so well.
Oh, bullshit, he wasn't doing so well. He was almost winning races. He just kept blowing shit.
He wasn't doing so well.
Tell me what? No, bullshit. Tell me one race where he wasn't in contention to win.
I don't really like how you're trying to bombard me with this argument, okay?
Hey, Kyle, why don't you come down and stop bombarding the man?
I'm defending his favorite driver. I'm not bombarding the man. I'm just trying to say, in comparison, he's not hot. He's just doing what he normally does. For good or bad.
Which is being hot.
No, I don't consider him hot. I do not consider him a hot driver right now. I consider him just to be Jimmy. That's what he's above being a hot driver. I don't even like the man.
He's on the greatest of all time. That's what he's doing.
Okay, but he's not a hot driver because he's just doing what he's doing. Okay, so we can agree on Dale Jr., who's having a career year and will probably win a championship.
Yeah.
Then there's also the other person who will win his second championship, Brad Keselowski.
As much as I hate to say it, yes.
I think, and we'll get into this later with predictions, but let's get this done with real fast. Cold drivers. Who do you put on the shit in the bed so far?
Victor Freeze.
What?
It's a Batman reference. Just go on.
Okay, let's go on.
Tony Stewart and Kyle Busch is someone I would put. Not Kyle. Kurt is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kyle Busch. He's not doing so well now, but Kyle Busch goes through those stages where he's just not doing things.
And the reason I'm saying that is because I like to pick on Kurt and Tony because I don't like them that much. So any chance I get to make fun of them, I'm going to take that opportunity.
The only thing I'll give Tony, at least, he's still healing from a broken leg. I give him a pass. He's not doing what he should be, but I'm giving him a pass, mostly because I'm a fan.
Who told him
Stewart is fighting crime in the street of Detroit City while being a NASCAR driver. The man says they're coming with him dead or alive, and he is racing, so I wouldn't consider that cold. I would consider that a national hero, and the world needs RoboCop Tony Stewart.
The other thing I give Tony Stewart a pass on, and I give the same pass to Danica, is Stewart-Haas Racing. They've shown when they expand their team, they don't do so hot. Like we saw it last year when they went to 3, and now they went to 4. So I'm giving Tony. He's not doing so well because of circumstances. I'm giving him excuses.
Now, who told Tony Stewart to rush back from a broken leg? Who told him to do that?
Probably his sponsors.
Well, maybe he should listen to sponsors when it comes to broken legs. Okay.
Maybe he should listen to sponsors when they cash the check.
Well, my health, I don't care.
So he should be putting money before health.
No, but as a team owner, you kind of have to.
Well, here's the thing with Tony Stewart is if he had just healed up, he could just be Tony Stewart. But no, he's RoboCop now because he didn't do anything. He came back too quickly, Kyle, and now he's RoboCop forever.
The other thing too, Cameron, you can't deny it. Tony Stewart's been doing better. He's getting back to where he was, slowly but surely. And the other thing with Tony Stewart,
you mean being number 2 under Jimmy Johnson? If you want to get back to that level, I guess.
The other thing with Tony Stewart is all the stigmatization around him. I'm giving you can call it excuses. I'll admit I'm giving him excuses. Broken leg, the team expanded to 4 people, new crew chief. I'm giving him excuses. I'm going to give him circumstantial breaks to keep him off my list. Okay.
Okay.
Now the other driver who I love to pick on, and mostly because he sucks and he's an egotistical bitch, and Cameron tends to agree with me, is Denny Hamlin.
Oh, fuck him.
Now, he may have a win, but he has a win at Talladega. And if you think that's important, think about this. Dave Blaney almost won Talladega a couple years ago. Think about that. So, yeah. And the other thing with Denny Hamlin is, if he gets so much as a sliver, he's too injured to race. So, fuck him. He's a pussy. And next time he wants to call his shot again that he's going to win a race, he should try not to finish 20th. That's all I'm saying. And the other driver on my list is Kurt Busch. I love him, but he's 26th in points, and that speaks for value. I can't give him any excuse. He may drive for the same team as Stewart, but he's 20. Stewart's like I think 19th in points. Kurt Busch is back. He's lower in points than Danica Patrick.
That's saying something. That's saying something.
And to wrap it all up, Cameron, and I'm sorry if this drove around a little bit. Do you want to give some mid-season prediction for the rest of the season? Since we won't have NASCAR talk here at Camp Center for another 18 races.
Then can we talk about Brazil?
Hold on, be patient. Be patient. We're gonna get to bash Brazil and make fun of them and make the queen of EVT Productions cry. We're going to be able to get to do that in just a second. But
that sounds pretty mean when you say it that way.
I'm sorry. You know who you are. I'm sorry, Kyle. Tell her that I'm sorry. Okay. Is Kyle here?
Kyle's just no selling him.
Okay then. I'll see you then. Early predictions. The top 4 spots at the end of the season are going to Hendrick Motorsports. They're just going to take all of it. Casey Kane is going to somehow ride in on his magic carpet, and he's going to take the 4th spot. Dale Jr. is going to win the Cup. Jimmy Johnson is going to come in 2nd, and Jeff Gordon is going to be in 3rd.
I really, really wish I had a reason to disagree with that. I only have logic to disagree with Casey Kane, but I truly believe if Hendrick does not sweep 3 of the 4, they're at least getting half those spots.
Yes.
And the only reason I say half, because the only other 2 people who I could see upsetting them is Team Penske, with Logano and Brad.
No.
Yes.
That just won't happen.
And the other thing I do see about Jimmy Johnson is he does not tend to have very good luck at Phoenix. The Phoenix before the last race. So that's to be determined what happens. He tends to blow a tire a lot.
Well, why do you have to bring stuff up like that, huh?
I'm just bringing up
there's
facts.
a reason why you won't be able to talk about NASCAR for 18 races, and that's one of the reasons. You don't bring up the bad stuff, okay? Let me tell you something. That man is a legend, and you respect that legend. And don't you ever think about trying to embarrass him again.
Calm down, Chris Blackico.
Hey, I'm not the one who literally blows a tire when shit matters. And speaking of Hendrick...
Also, Cameron, before people accuse me of being racist, please say that it's okay that I said that.
It's okay that he said that, people. Don't go clicking on your keyboards, okay? It's all fun and games here. Nothing's being taken seriously here.
So it's all fun and games until someone gets hung.
That was also okay, people. that one was also okay. I'm the resident black guy here, and whatever I say goes, and that was okay.
Cameron, speaking of Phoenix, before
we're not OP and Anthony.
They tend to have bad issues at Phoenix, and don't forget Jeff Gordon lost it at Phoenix. He lost his shit. So.
Moving on from.
Hold up, no, I have one more question. Then we'll move on. Do you see any wild cards who could be in a big upset in all this?
Wild card.
Casey Kane. I already said the wild card, and I said it. It's Casey Kane.
My wild card is, because I'm not losing hope, is Tony Stewart. I will not lose hope.
I say Danica Patrick.
Okay, and then one that's gonna be fun to see if that happens. With the new, before we move on, I don't think we'll have much time to talk about this. Let's give our preview of what we think of the new chase format. So next time we'll give how we thought of it. Let's give an opinion how we think of it before it happens. What do you think, Cameron?
It has potential. Everything deserves a shot. Why not give this a shot? I like the thought of it. Now this could go great or horribly wrong. It just all depends.
The only thing,
if this format screws Jimmy Johnson out of his 7th, well, there's going to be hell to pay. I'm just letting everyone know now.
The only thing I can see it backfiring on it is, let's say you have the 4 drivers, and you have 39 other people. What if the 39 other people just wreck the 4 people going for the championship?
That would be interesting.
Like, what if they just say, fuck it, and spin them out?
That's interesting.
So, I mean, I think it has its ups and downs. I love the format. I love the way they have the winning thing. If you win, you're basically in. I love that. Because...
And it makes every race matter now.
Yeah.
It makes every race matter.
And as much as many people say, like, they talk about, like, how it's no more point racing. It really is no more point racing. There's no more, second was good. It's, fuck, I should have won that.
Yeah.
And it gives people like Eric Amarola a chance to get in there and say, hey, I made the chase. I finished dead last in the chase, but I made the chase.
It does. It does.
And it's a good thing for Kyle Busch, because now there'll be people behind him to give a cushion from last place in the chase. Which he tends to have a lot.
All right. Well, Kyle, are you done with your NASCAR segment?
Fuck Jimmy Johnson. Now I'm done.
Okay, whatever.
Let's talk about Brazil.
Let's talk about Brazil.
Before we do Brazil, I want to put it, for anyone listening, especially the person who I care about listening to this, I do not condone the following statements.
The person listening to this that we're talking about, I can show you my notes. This was not on the agenda. This is all Caleb.
Hey, you're one of my best friends. I'm not being a dick. You're my friendo.
All right, now Caleb, what would you like to talk about Brazil?
I just want to talk about Brazil. It is big news. I mean, the World Cup is in Brazil, and they played Germany, and they lost 7-1. Also, Germany wins the World Cup confirmed?
Confirmed.
I would say so. I think Germany's going to win.
Yes.
No,
and that's not me being unpatriotic. That's just me being logical.
You're going to feel stupid if people listening to this after the World Cup and Argentina won.
If the Germans wins, then they will be listening and they will say, good job, Caleb.
Russia should have won. That's just really should have won.
How did you get a Russian accent for a Germany team?
Wait, did I use a Russian accent?
You sound like a Russian. Sound more Russian than German.
But it was the Germans. The Germans.
It kind of sounds like Lana.
It sounds like Red Skull. One second. I'm trying to be Hugo Weaving. Just give me 2. Never mind. Some sort of Eastern Germany's not. Fuck, I don't. Okay, fuck it.
I think.
Let's just go. Let's just go on.
My only thoughts on this is if Argentina upsets Germany, I think we know who's gonna go to the camps next time Germany has a bitch fit.
Whoa. Whoa. Are we even alive? I don't know if we're. Whoa. Hey, I'm a big fan of Colt Cabana. I don't know if I can condone this. Oh, that was a little harsh. Jesus, fuck. Okay. Well, now this video just got a bunch of dislikes. Maybe we should just stop talking about countries altogether. Maybe we should never talk about soccer or football again.
Well, no. We got a bunch of likes as well because there's other groups of people who are glad the Germans are going after someone else this time.
Oh.
This video just got dark as fuck.
Edward Norton, right? I love American History X. It's a good one.
That could be interpreted in so many ways.
No, it's a good movie. It's not the good. No, Inglourious Basterds is a good movie too. I don't support that.
It also could be interpreted in so many ways.
It's a movie about killing Nazis.
Anything involving a swastika and you being a white guy, you should never say it's good. This is known.
Damn it. Me and Quentin Tarantino just have the same problem, I guess. Except I'm good at talking to black people.
You know, this conversation seems to be circled around Nazis. I think we should move on.
Is there anything?
This isn't about the 1940 World Cup.
This is also really bad. Everyone listening, I love everybody. These two people, I can't speak for them. Do not send threats to my home.
No, I'm not. Look, I'm part German. That doesn't help me either.
Don't throw a banana in my window. Don't do that. I watch a lot of movies. I know some racist acts. But, speaking of whatever, is there anything else you guys would like to talk about in the sports world?
What else is there to talk about? We got some cool looking next gen, or I guess now it's current gen, video games coming out, and I'm really excited for them. Can't wait to check those out on the PS4. Go Patriots, go Bruins.
I think we're going to talk about the sports games as it gets closer to the date. How about that?
I know. All I'm saying is, sports. Okay.
Yeah, the ESPN Sports Series. We're going to talk about that as it gets closer to the date.
Also, speaking of which, the biggest question we have is, do you think John Madden would ever talk to us?
Possibly.
Oh, yeah, he's running. I like John Madden. He's a cool guy. Should we end this?
Yeah, alrighty, folks. That's the end of Cam Center. Put in the comments what are your thoughts on any of the topics that we discussed. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if we're racist douchebags here at EVTV Productions. Don't send bananas in my window. That wouldn't be nice of you. I'm Cameron. That's Caleb. That's Kyle. We'll see you later, folks.
Bye-bye.
Adios. See, I'm not racist. I speak Mexican.